I have decided to do something different over the next year or so. It's going to be kind of like a video newsletter. And so I'm going to touch a little bit on my works, but then I'm going to introduce you to another author who has books on available on YouTube in the form of audiobooks. My husband and I, today's date is Sunday, October 8th. We got back last night from a 13-day cruise. It's an anniversary cruise. Our anniversary technically isn't until January, but we wanted to do a tour of the fall colors, right, for the east coast of the United States. And you can't do that in January. It's just funny how when you get in January, it eliminates certain anniversary trips. And so we planned this in January. And then for those of you who have followed me for a while, my husband had 4 strokes in March. So to be honest with you, we didn't know if we would be able to take the trip. But the good Lord has blessed us, and while he has suffered some memory loss, he looks better than a lot of people do who have had only 1 stroke. And so we'll take the limitations that he's dealing with. He does remember who I am, so that's not an issue for us. But he does kind of have short-term memory loss. And so like while we were on the ship, we learned very quickly, even though we had told him we're going to be going down here to sit, because he was eating differently than I was. And so he didn't always remember that. And all of a sudden, he's feeling a little lost amongst all these strangers. And so we learned to hang a lot closer to him. But most of the time he's good, but if you throw too many things at him, then it can be kind of overwhelming. And it's kind of funny because he was in the bathroom today and he goes, "Oh, darn it. I got to remember where everything is in this bathroom again." Because here's an example of, it's mostly just the last 5 years that were impacted by his memory. So his long-term memory is excellent. So he was able to get his driver's license. They temporarily took it away and gave him a learner's permit. He had to go through this extensive 2-hour testing with the speech therapy people. Speech therapy also handle the memory things. And as he was doing that, then he finished that. And that was good. Forwarded it to the doctor. The doctor met with him. He thought it was okay. They forwarded it to the DMV. The DMV contacted us. They scheduled an appointment. He was able to pass the driver's written test. And then they gave him the permit. Took his driver's license, but gave him a permit. And then gave him a week to get used to driving again. And came back a week later and he passed his driver's test with flying colors. But an example of some of that 5-year gap, it's not like he forgot everything. It's spotty. It's hit and miss. And when we came home from the hospital after that 4th stroke and the rehab that he did in hospital following that, he remembered Mandalorian. He really liked science fiction things. But he remembered Mandalorian, but he couldn't remember where we put our dirty clothes. He still struggles with that one because we have 3 bins and you do it by color, and I'm going to have to break down and write them down. I keep thinking it's going to stick, but it's one of the things that is just resisting him. And so it's just been an interesting experience as we've kind of learned to work with this and what is our new reality. So anyway, it's been interesting as we've prepared. I had a book that had just released about the time this was going on. And then just as we're getting ready to go on this cruise, I had a second book that released this year. And I kind of consider it quite a blessing that I was able to get any books out this year. It's been, when you're worrying about your loved one and trying to anticipate the way things are going to go and fix that. Okay?
Yep, bye.
Okay, love you. All right, that was fun. My husband happened to drop by. He forgot I told him I would be filming this today. And he could hear me talking and was wondering who I was talking to. Anyway, I wanted to introduce you to author Britney Mills. I'll go ahead and provide links in the description to her channel. And I actually had a chance to meet Britney at a big writing, I'm sorry, I'm having a senior moment, a writing event, author event, author palooza kind of thing that they have in another county. And she and I actually sat at the same table during the signing. So it was fun to chat with her a little bit. This was several years ago, so she was quite early in her journey, her author journey. I think she only had 1 or 2 books out at the time. A delightful young woman, but she's got a ton of books, and if you really enjoy, she's got a variety of genres too, all clean romances, but she's also she's got a lot of books that go out that have sports people in them or billionaires, and so it's kind of fun to have a variety. She's a wife. Her husband is a builder. They have 5 kids, and so obviously that keeps her really busy. I remember those days. And at night, she says she turns into an author, but she does rom-com, sweet contemporary romance stories. She said that she was a book lover and a former college athlete, so you kind of see why she would be interested in writing books with people involved in sports. I mean, you see a lot of karate or martial arts type things with that. I'm a karate black belt. I got involved in that when my boys were involved in it, and I wanted it to be something that we could do together. But she's a Jane Austen fan, and so she likes to craft stories that with the idea that anyone can find love, and I happen to agree with that. She said when she's not writing, she likes to play games with her kids. And of course, she spends a lot of time shuttling them, to and from their activities, as all do. All mothers we know end up being chauffeurs. She likes Sanditon and Murdoch Mysteries. She says she does that while she's folding laundry. And anybody who's had kids knows that you have to multitask. You just have to do it. And I'll be honest, that's how I listen to most of my audiobooks. I'm a huge audiobook fan. I was just looking at it. I'm almost up to 1,000 audiobooks on Audible. Now, a lot of those I've gotten because they get credits, but you can get them on sale. When I see authors' audiobooks, for like free or 99 cents, I can get the audiobook at a discount. But now that they're available on YouTube, we have the opportunity to listen to them there as well. Now, I'm going to provide a link also for her if you're interested in finding out more about her email newsletter. She said that her channel features several of her audiobooks for free, as well as updates and writing and stuff. I've even had a few things I've done on here on my channel that talks about the writing process, maybe kind of jokes about the author experience, what's it like to be a writer. She said her content is perfect for readers and listeners who love sweet romance and rom-coms. I hope that you'll follow the link and go to her YouTube channel and check out her audiobooks. If you haven't had a chance to meet her, I hope that you'll enjoy her books. Thank you for listening to my very first newsletter video. Hopefully it wasn't too much of a disaster. And happy Sabbath.